So I've got another in a series on my Honda Pilot. I wanted to add LED bulbs for the turn indicators. So why would I want to do this? Well, LED bulbs have a nice feature, which is they sort of turn on pretty much instantly, as opposed to the incandescent bulbs, which start to glow sort of slowly. And here's an example. So here I've got an incandescent bulb next to an LED bulb. It's not an automotive LED bulb, but it'll have the same characteristic. So you'll see that sort of frame by frame, I walk through after power has been applied to both. The power is applied to both simultaneously. So you'll see initially the LEDs turn on, get a little brighter, and then they're pretty much at full brightness, whereas the incandescent will just slowly get brighter and brighter. Now, of course, this is slowed down tremendously and you're watching it sort of frame by frame, but it is an indication of how much faster the LED bulb is. And for my money, when I turn on the turn indicator, I really want that bulb to turn on pretty much instantly. I want to indicate to other drivers that I'm turning, so I really don't want there to be a delay. It's arguable, but to me, seems like a better solution. Another difference between these bulbs is that the LED bulb uses much less current, much less power. It only draws about 3 watts, whereas the incandescent bulb might draw as many as 25. And you think, well, why do I care? Well, the flasher relay, the thing that makes the turn indicator light turn on and off, actually depends upon a certain amount of current. And that high current comes from using the incandescent bulbs. But if you don't use the incandescent bulbs, you use the LED bulbs, you get something called hyperflashing. So the solution, of course, is a new style of flasher relay, specifically one that's made for LEDs. Okay, so where's this flasher relay that I can replace? Well, it's in the driver's footwell on the fuse box, but unfortunately it's on the back side of the fuse box. And you just know that that's going to make it hard to get to. But either way, here we go. So this trim piece pulls up relatively easily, and then that allows you to get to this other trim piece in front of it. This used to have some kind of plastic retaining ring. It's gone. I don't know where it went. But regardless then, this trim piece just pulls out as well. And here at last is our fuse box. So the fuse box is really locked in place due to all the wires and connectors. So I just figured that after I got rid of this bolt, that I would have to disconnect those connectors and start to pull the wires away just to give it a certain amount of flexibility. So some of the connectors really gave me a lot of grief. You can see me struggling with this one with the screwdriver and just trying to pry it out. I'm trying not to damage anything or damage any of the wires, but it really just did not want to come out. So after a period of time, it finally popped free, but I don't know what was causing it to be so stiff. So once those front side connectors were out, it was still difficult to maneuver it out because of the proximity to the parking brake. You can't really see it from this angle, but there's some pieces that are on the left side of it that really intruded onto the side of the fuse box. So once again, I started to just try and squeeze my hands back there, and that's why I really can't give you a better camera angle, because I was really just trying to squeeze in there to get a screwdriver or my hand to try and free the connectors that are on the back side. But with each connector released, it just got a little bit easier, and eventually I was able to pull the whole thing out toward me. Okay, so finally we're there, and this is that relay. So at the top and bottom there are tabs that hold it in, but once you release those tabs, it pops right out. And here's just the socket, in case you're interested. By the way, it's about 1 inch wide. Initially I bought an incorrectly sized flasher, and you can see that it's much bigger, so it didn't fit. So the new one just pops into the same socket, and then it's time to try it out. So I wanted to test it out first just with the old bulbs, just to make sure the new flasher was working. Okay, with that working, now it's time to put in the new bulbs. The bulb holders turn maybe 1/4 of a turn counterclockwise, and then they just pop straight out. One thing to note is make sure you change out the turn indicator bulb and not the brake bulb. The turn indicator bulb on this car is the top one. So now it's just a matter of getting all the backside connectors in, getting the fuse box kind of back into position, and then putting the front side connectors on and getting it bolted in place. Another thing to note is that there are a couple of mounting tabs, metal mounting tabs that come out sort of out of the fender, and the fuse box sort of has to squeeze in between them, and I think that's what was giving me a lot of trouble in trying to squeeze it back into place, was I was hitting those tabs at the wrong angle. So it's finally in, and then I had to just do one more test, of course, of both sides, and everything works well. So I'm going to call this a success. I don't know that I'd do it again, but it works.